Holy moly, do we have an important, busy, incredibly powerful week of the 20th of August to the 27th of August, because we are being dominated by a particular formation, Mars opposite Neptune, trine Pluto, which is going to be the last such energy, particularly the Mars Pluto, in our lifetime. So we've seen this since 2008-9, this ongoing every 2 year Mars Pluto trine flow ease from Virgo to Capricorn. And we're going to talk about what it might look like because it's quite good in each of our skies this week. And we're going to look at your rising sign is most accurate, sun and moon secondarily. But we have a lot of other stuff going on in the sky this week. Mercury will station retrograde. Oh my goodness, here we go. Another retrograde season. That station retrograde is on the 23rd of August, which in my time zone happens to be Wednesday. And we're also going to see Venus in her second of 3 squares to Jupiter. This one's formed by her still moving retrograde through Leo. And that is also an important story that has 3 parts, Act 1, 2, and 3. We're in the second act. I'll talk about what that might look like for the collective. Where we're diving in for the all signs, however, is into that dominating energy of Mars in Virgo with Lord Mercury at home guiding him as this forms a very prosperous and powerful trine to Pluto, but also with some disillusionment in that opposition to Neptune. So we'll see how that might play out for you based on your rising sign. You can listen for your sun. That may be more about career. You can listen for your moon. It may be more about home and safety. Moon can be mom and sun can be father figures, etc. This is why your rising sign is usually the best place to start. I give it dominant action here. Alrighty. Hey, if you're new to my channel, thank you for being here and welcome. And if you're a regular, thanks for returning. My name is Lori Lothe and I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, yet I use tools from Vedic astrology when they're applicable, Babylonian and other traditions, even evolutionary astrology. So I like to blend things together. Second of all, if you are new to my channel, I have a very short promotion this month. I just like to share something I'm up to. That's my Patreon community. If you want to check me out for $5 a month and subscribe, give me a shot. At the very basic, I'm giving you like $80 worth of free gifts. My 2023 all signs videos, that's 60 minutes times 12 signs, and 2 classes I'm teaching for at the end of August. The classes aren't free to take them with me, but Are You My Person Synastry class on how to do relationship astrology, some basics, as well as Chiron, the key to purpose, a little bit how to use Chiron for the idea of one's original medicine or purpose in the world. So based on your natal alignment. Okay, so check that out. Patreon community below. When you sign up for Patreon, immediately you get access to the all signs 23 videos, and you can unsubscribe anytime. Let's get rolling into the week ahead. Now, you know what, guys? This has been an interesting time for all of us because we're all under this energetic of a Venus retrograde. She began to go backwards in the sky on July the 22nd, and she went into the heart of the sun on August 13th. Go check my video out. That's a 9-month forecast for each sign. Go check my Venus Kazemi video. It's in my playlist. And then basically she's still trundling backwards, getting ready to station direct at 12 degrees of Leo on September 4th. It's an interesting time for all of us when Venus goes retrograde because we go inward and we ask ourselves questions about what is truer and closer to who we are. Because a retrograde planet is closer to the Earth. That's why it appears to be going retrograde. You hear that choo-choo train? That's a sign. Follow the track you're meant to be on. And bottom line is Venus cares about love and money, but also what you deeply desire, what you value, what's worth your desirous nature being awakened. And she's in Leo, which is about courage and heart. And so there's a lot of going into your own heart, since the 22nd of July, to ask the big question. What do I really desire? What lights me up? What's my truest heart's desire? Where are my values in alignment with my true heart and all of that? So that's the backstory. Let's talk about the details. Now, starting around August, the beginning of the week, August 21st, you feel this all week long. Venus begins to go into that formation of a square to Jupiter. She's moving through Leo, and Jupiter is sitting still in direct motion, right, until September 4th in Taurus, her home kingdom. She's having a difficult conversation with him. And it's an interesting one because I often think that's sort of like a push-pull energy between the greater and lesser benefic. She's wanting you to align with your deepest values, and Jupiter wants to make everything bigger, just bigger than ever, larger than life. He's buoyant, optimistic. He often bites off more than he can chew. You bite off more than you can chew. In Taurus, sensual pleasures, ambitions, material resources, the everyday grounded way of being alive. And Jupiter can go to excess, depending on where your Taurus house is and your 12 whole sign houses in your natal sky. Right now, you could be feeling an expansive excessiveness in your 7th house of marriage, right? If you're a Scorpio rising, etc. And so it all depends on where Jupiter's going. But Venus is kind of, hello, come hither. Let me rein you in and ask you, are we sure about this opportunity? We have an opportunity. We do have an opportunity this week because that Venus square Jupiter brings the word opportunity and excess maybe and ambition and greatness to life. I'm going to pause the recording while I wait for the train to finish going by, or maybe I won't. Is it kind of a cool sound effect? Hopefully it's not too loud. And I think for all of us, this question we're being asked has 3 parts. It's going to be most exact August 22nd. So the 22nd is Tuesday. We might feel a little bit of like, temptation, frustration, ambition meets resistance, a kind of like yes, but maybe no, about some opportunity. Opportunity isn't everything. I think that Venus is the place to listen to your inner guidance, because not all opportunities, be careful what you wish for, right? Jupiter, be careful what you wish for. So some of your wishes may be manifesting on Tuesday or this week in general, and yet you're not so sure about them. Do I really want this? It can be anything, guys. I'll give me as an example. Venus is in my partner client audience house. I can't count the time I'm asked to do a webinar, a seminar, appear on somebody's podcast, and I say yes, because I always say yes. I'm a yes girl. But right now I'm too busy. So I probably should say no. All opportunities will be in perfect alignment. Venus is in that 7th house of clients, audience, marketplace, other, and Jupiter just in the 4th house, something close to home for me. So this is where knowing your own astrology chart can really, really help you to understand the areas of your life. And I'm going to do a longer video on this on September 17th. Okay, so if you subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, the bell for notifications, you're going to find out what the heck is going on with this 3-part story, because it began on June the 11th when she first came into a square, attention, right? A square to Jupiter. A second time is August 22nd, and the third time is September 17th. Lush up about 3 days on either side of those dates. So this is really one longer narrative. I bet you can't go back to June 11th. I don't think I can and go, what opportunity looked great, but I felt pushed and pulled. Maybe I took it and I shouldn't have. Was it my heart's desire? But if I look at my calendar, my day timer, my emails, I bet you can find it. I bet you I can. So it's back again. And by the end of the September 17th, when she's moving direct, leaving finally Leo in October, early October around the 7th, you will no longer have this question mark. You're going to be more deeply, integrally aligned. Each of us will be with the Leo whole sign house of our chart and what it is we deeply desire. Because Venus has only been activating that part of our sky in her conjunctions with the sun, but then even her retrograde since 1991. So every 8 years, 1991, 1999, and 2007, and this year, we asked this big question. Are my desires in alignment with my heart? Am I truly opening my heart to the best opportunities for me that I want to achieve in leonine ways, which is leadership, courage, daring, performance, all that wonderful heart energy. See, this one has Jupiter squaring. That wasn't true of the other one. So with Jupiter squaring, we're really going into opportunity versus heartfelt yes. Okay, so remember that expression. If it's not a yes, it's a no. If it's lukewarm, don't go there. If it just looks good on paper, say no. All right. If you know you don't really want it, it's okay to turn it down. That's my advice. I'll be taking my own advice this week. I was just listening to Sweetie Pie Cam White. I love him. I'm going to try to get him on my channel. And I'm also a total fan of Candace Marie of Beyond the Veil. Tarot and Astrology. She will be appearing this fall to talk about eclipses with me on my channel. But we all have one thing in common. We tell it like it is, but we also let you guys know who we are and what we're doing. And I was listening to him the other day, and he was just talking about how in his weekly forecast, what he does is he's doing it for himself, and you get to participate. And I would say that's the same for me. These are new for me. I'm just starting them every Monday that started in August, and I'm just doing it so I can feel into the week ahead. And I'm sharing that process with you. So hopefully you guys like it. It's a new feature. I've piloted it in August, seems to be going well. But if you do like this, hit that like button so I can keep up with the weekly forecast format on my YouTube channel, not just the moons and the other stuff I do. All right, now moving on. The thing I want to really focus on will be Mars opposite Neptune at the same time trining Pluto, which you're feeling all week long until the 27th, which is Sunday. So we don't even need to break down a day. It's just gritty. I'll show you the sky though, so you see what it looks like. I like to show the sky to you guys. But the other thing is that I'm not going to dive into two things. On Sunday, Mars will go into Libra. That will be for next week's video, which will come out Monday. And I'll say yesterday, Mars went into Libra, and we'll talk about the meaning of that. Second of all, the Mercury retrograde is on the 23rd. I'll just say this, Mercury will station to go retrograde, and he will be retrograding for about 3 weeks. And I have already created a deep dive Mercury retrograde all signs video where for your sign you can go into it. But just to remind you, when Mercury goes retrograde, synchronicities increase. Things get really exciting. I'm having a free webinar on September 5th. It's in the description box. Come join me. We're going to talk about what this particular, all the cool asteroids and fixed star Coxa involved. And we're going to harness that Cazimi as well. That's on the 5th as Mercury's retrograding into the heart of the sun. So just check out the description box for the free webinar. But here's the thing. Mercury is an elemental earth here. This is one of those years where he spends 6 months in earth. Okay, that's phenomenal. That was last in 2016 because of retrogradations within the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus, and in this time, Virgo. And so you could go back to 2016 because some of the Virgo stories that are going to play out, July 28th to October the 5th, well, Mercury is in Virgo. Some of those stories are familiar to you from like July, August, September of 2016. He will station at 21 degrees on the 23rd, backtrack to 8 degrees of Virgo, and turn around again on September 15th. Obviously, if you have planets 21 degrees Virgo or 8 degrees Virgo, those are sensitive points in the chart. Any Virgos with their sun, moon, or rising at 21 or near 8, give or take 3 degrees on either side, this is a very important Mercury retrograde for you. It's going to make some major changes in your life. Sun, career, moon, maybe home, rising sign, everything. It's all up for grabs. Okay, let's talk about the dominant story. And this is where we're going to do the all signs. I'm going to show you the picture so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll rotate the sky so you can see what I'm talking about. And listen again for your rising sign, most accurate, sun and moon secondarily. So here we have, I'm going to share the screen. Now I'm traveling on Monday. Normally I do premieres and I'm in there having a good time with my regular crew, but I won't be able to do that. I'll be on a plane. If I can, I will be, like if I get a Wi-Fi signal. Otherwise, this will be premiering on Monday, the 21st. And I'm recording on Sunday, the 20th. So here we have the sky, and there you see Mars at 25 degrees on August the 20th, which is today, which is Sunday. Here we have him on the 21st at 26 degrees of Virgo. Can you see him, guys? I'll annotate for us. There we go. And he's sitting with Lord Mercury, Mercury in domicile. Mercury's moving so slow. He's at 21 degrees, even before the 23rd when he's stationed. He's slowing down to station. So that 21 degrees is very hyperbolic and very intense. And so bottom line, we have lordship from Mercury as Mars is moving through here. By the time Mars leaves, however, on the 27th to move into Libra land, Mercury will have already retrograded. But you see that Mercury's in charge. Mercury's bossing Mars around. Mercury tells Mars what to do because it's Mercury's exaltation and home sign, kingdom of Virgo. So Mars is the boss of, Mercury is the boss of Mars. Think of it that way. But you're my house guest, right? You're not going to do what you want and break all my rules in my house. You're going to do what I want because I'm the host. So the host is at home with the guest, which is Mars. Mars in Virgo. It can be very passionate, action-oriented, decisive, and decision-making about things that require detailed focus or about health matters, for example. Lots of ways he can operate here. He's kind of chaste and virginal, even though he's a god of passion, because this is a purity sign. It has to do with the virgin. So this could be a time, you've been going through it already, where you're more chaste than you usually are, more pure, more virginal. But here we have this story of Mars in that Pluto trine. Now, Pluto, power, wealth, secrets, a conflict and crisis that create transformation, right? The god of the underworld, which is another realm in the ancient tradition. It's not hell. It's just another dimension, right? And that's the brother of Zeus or Jupiter, and that's the brother of Neptune. They're all the brothers of Mount Olympus. And this is a flow relationship. It's earth to earth. It's called trigon or trine energy. It's the nature of Jupiter. All trines are the nature of Jupiter and bring luck, opportunity, prosperity, goodness, hope, faith, optimism, and opportunity. Did I say that? So we can go, this is an opportune week. It's going to be dominated by opportune. I call this holy moly in the graphic, but I'm going to say an opportune week or something in the title of this video, because you can't change that. It is opportune when energy is trining itself. And Mercury is in a broad trine to Pluto. It still counts. It's not perfect, but it's there. So we have news, information, commerce, a suggestion maybe of research or study or new ideas that are highly exciting and actionable, the equal opportunity prosperity this week. We're all going to feel this. It's just dominating the week, right? So go the 21st to the 27th, and everything I'm telling you is in play. Do not even question it. It's just really lovely. But here's the cool part, guys. Go back to 2009. I mean, Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, but it was by 2009, I think we probably had the first Mars-Pluto trine. Long story short, every couple of years since around 2008, 2009, we got this action here, right? So if you think about 2009 to 2023, that's 12 years, and you divide it by 2. So about 6 times so far, we've had Mars trine Pluto, Mars trine Pluto, Mars trine Pluto. It's not new for the world. It's not new for you. And if you really learn astrology, you'll probably go back and you want to see the Mars trine Pluto dates and times, which I'm not going to do here, but you might want to do it for yourself to say what kind of changes and opportunities were you making that increased your wealth, that increased your prosperity, that gave you powerful new ideas. Mercury Pluto trine is like genius insight, X-ray vision, mind like a steel trap, someone who can go beneath the surface. If you have anything in your life that you want to dive under the surface, uncover the secrets, go and take action with that in passionate directions, or if you just want to research something that you think is going to be a passionate, purposeful, actionable thing that could bring prosperity and luck and goodness, this is a good week to do that. Just saying. But it can just show up on your doorstep, including maybe Pluto, Mercury. It can be commercial success, commerce that's powerfully wealthy. So there is that too. Here's the glitch, and this is where things get a little more challenging. Here we have Neptune. Now, Neptune has been here way back since 2011. He's opposite this, and that creates what we call a wedge in the sky, the sextile between Neptune and Pluto, and forming a wedge. A wedge to this kind of combo here. Now, wedges have a feature. There's tension between 2 planets, in this case, Neptune and Mars. And then there's a breaking free soul, like an energy of like, what is it? What do I want to call it? Like a breakthrough energy, an epiphany, a breakthrough, a resilience, a recognition of how to resolve the tension in Pluto. So Pluto plays a powerful role of resolution of tension here at the sort of focal point of this wedge, which looks like a door stopper. So your Pluto placement is very important in the all signs. I'll be talking about how Pluto is breaking up what kind of tension, Mars, Neptune, delusion, illusion. I mean, honestly, Neptune, Mars can be like zealot, drinking the Kool-Aid, Jim Jones, falling for a messiah, having a super martyr complex go south. If you ever look at gurus and you see any Mars, Neptune shit around them, if you saw their natal chart, run for the high hills. You're looking at somebody who's going to deceive you, manipulate, lie outright. So Mars Neptune energy is very thievery as well. Mars rules thieves, steal things from you, steal your soul. Now, this is not a guru story necessarily, unless of course your chart suggests that, but it does have something going on here that like you could find yourself this week coming down to earth. Why? From some illusion or delusion in the Pisces part of your chart, because Saturn is here. Saturn got here in March and he says, look, guys, there's a lot of water going on here since 2011. Neptune, sea god, Poseidon in the watery Pisces realms. A lot of you have really pie in the sky illusions, delusions, wispo willow dreams, fantasies. What is it called? There's a word I want, like where you dilly-dally, daydreams, but there's another one. Anyway, and nothing's happening. You have all these ideas, dreams, wishes, fantastical fantasies, and nothing rolls out. Saturn got here in March of 2023 and leaves in February of 26. Cold water, sober realism, but actually making a tangible result. So I'll give you an example for the world. Neptune in Pisces can very much be about, 2 things. It could be about the metaverse, augmented reality, seeing reality through those new goggles and having an illusion that looks so real. Is it real or Memorex? It's kind of almost like being hypnotized, right? And mesmerism and hypnotism are Neptunian features. Being mesmerized by a false reality, that's Neptune. But we've never seen it come to pass. But now all of a sudden, Apple et al. And Google are rolling out their augmented reality goggles and their metaverse world stuff because Saturn is giving it form, bringing it to life. But also big pharma can be Pisces and Neptune stuff. And Saturn is rules and regulations, stern, cold, harsh reality. We know there's been a lot of trials around the world or, questioning and stuff with the big pharma, Pfizer, Moderna. And I'm not making this up because I have a position here, guys. I'm just telling you what's happening in the news cycle. And there's a lot of hardship at sea. I'm really worried about this because yes, we saw submarines sink, hardship, Saturn, sea, Neptune in Pisces. We've seen a lot of things happen. We saw the topsy-turvy boat that unfortunately 700 people I think died or something in the Greece Sea refugee boat tip over. We saw that implosion of that submarine going down to the Titanic. We're going to see more problems like this. We're going to see water shortages, maybe. We're going to see those tidal currents in the ocean slowing down. And if that happens, there's gravitas with that because warmer waters are not circulating properly. The worst case is they stop. And then we're going to have catastrophic environmental failures. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm saying the next 3 years, Saturn, Neptune is gnarly. War at sea, right? So Taiwan, China, all that kind of stuff. So this is not an easy place for anyone, the Saturn-Neptune combination. But in our life this week, it's not all that, right? Not this week. This is just like, where are you in your Pisces real estate house? And I'll tell you when I get to your whole sign story on each sign, coming to face something that you have to look at squarely, sober and realistically, where you might have been in a land of fantastical phantasm and not either being deceived by someone else or not seeing reality clearly. Look for manipulation, deceit, and lies around you this week. Do not trust what you hear, Mercury opposite Neptune, and do not take action on it. And especially someone could try to use information to harm you or steal from you, basically. Okay. And so this is certainly a good time to inspect those telephone calls that apparently the IRS is after you in a robotic voice, or any of those scams from Nigeria where they're telling you that there's a bunch of money you've inherited. Do not believe anything you see or hear this week. You will be dealing with scams, basically. Now, Pluto. Okay. Well, I do think with this last thing, Pluto breaks attention. So power and wealth, potency, depth of perception, Mercury, Pluto in your Capricorn zone of real estate. So we're going to do all signs and talk about how that might play out for you in the week ahead. If you're new, don't forget, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hang on. Did it clear? Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. A little note, I have a lot of my people telling me they got unsubbed by YouTube in the last week or so, and that is something that YouTube unfortunately does do. Sometimes I think they're clearing what they think are bot accounts, but go check to see you're still subbed if you're one of my regulars, because my subs are down. They're about half right now, not because of views, not because of how many people subbed to each new video. Those are regular, but there's like a hole in the bucket, right? The boat has a hole in it. YouTube is dumping out subs, and I don't know why. So I'm being careful here about what I say anymore about world events, because I don't know if I'm being like on a blacklist now. But check to see you're still subbed if you've already subbed. And if you haven't, please sub and help my channel grow. Because I was aiming for an unrealistic goal of 100,000 subs by the end of the year, I'm going to be hitting 40 sometime in September. But I'm playing, what do you call it? I'm playing with fantasy. I'm dreaming something impossible. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the all signs, and we'll be rotating the wheel for you learners in astrology. By the way, my Sky Reader course is starting on third week of September. I haven't opened the cart and set the date for sure, but I do have a giant wait list for it. I will cap the number of people who can get in. I think there's 350 people on the wait list. If you want to learn astrology, be your own astrologer, time your best life live with me. And it's a 6-week course. I've taught it 3 times. This is the 4th time, then jump aboard in September. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the all signs. Okay, so I've got the chart queued, and we're going to go ahead now. I'll just pause my recording. You may not have noticed, and we're going to get into this blow by blow. Usually about 3 minutes per sign, so get in, settle in. There are timestamps and chapters so that you can jump ahead to your sign, which I should have mentioned in the beginning, but it's better that you stick around actually and learn a little astrology along the way for your better, highest good in the long run, in my very, very humble opinion. All right, here we have it. Now you can see This is Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign, and we like rising most accurately, as I mentioned earlier. So, guys, you can see here that this is going to look like Mars in 28 degrees, trining Jupiter, pretty exact on the 24th. But don't forget, from the 21st to the 27th, it's in play, as well as this ongoing opposition to Neptune that's really also being felt all week long. And so, the essence of this is, as I said in the intro, there is a tension of some kind around information and news, action and choices, decisions that you might want to make in your work environment. This is the sixth house, but you're faced with some kind of disillusionment from the 12th. Now, the 12th house can be things that do in business matters to do with foreigners or revenue from foreign lands or generating commerce across international borders. And there may be some kind of fantasy, and Saturn's being way more realistic about it, going, hey, hang on a sec here, not so fast. On the other hand, there can be deception. So be very careful, because that combination of Mars and Mercury can be deceptive news, deceptive information, untrue information coming at you in a very intense, in your face, conflictual way. The details may be inaccurate. Someone could literally be in your workspace telling you lies, and you have to see through that illusion, that fog. Your sixth house can be also matters to deal with pets or tenancy and rental agreements. Now, this could be some kind of confusion, some kind of kerfluffle about things this week to do with a rental or tenancy agreement, or about a pet, especially a health of a pet. And this is also your house of sickness. And you do have the sun here. Yay. Sun will be in here. Oh no, overlording, as well as Mercury. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Mercury's in charge. But you could be getting like a health result, but it's not clear, or the test results aren't accurate. So get another test, do it again. Don't trust the first pass on anything like a health test. Also, you may be trying to clear some health problems. Mars is giving you the exit strategy for any health problems that have been bothering you. Mars is giving you the knowledge and the information you need to clear those health challenges out. Neptune is addictions. If you got a problem with alcohol or vaping and cigarettes, this is a good tension energy of, frustration and maybe challenges around letting those things go. Pluto is the outlet for everything, for the money story, for the addiction story, for the workplace story, for the pets and tenancy story. Pluto says up here, let's figure this out in the 10th house. Now, your reputation and career, your workplace, your visible actions in the world is the 10th house, how others see you. People have been seeing you more and more like a Pluto figure, right? Aries, sun, moon, and especially rising, a powerful, dominating force to be reckoned with ever since 2008's ingress. And as an Aries sun and moon, I can definitely say that my career has changed, also transformation of career. But this is like, Pluto's leaving here. Don't forget, he's going to dilly-dally a bit there next year, but he's leaving Pluto forever in 2025 for us mortals who don't live to 250 years old. So like you've got this last energy with this Mars Pluto to power up fully and authentically in the work and service you're here to do in this world. It's a big call, isn't it? This week of August 21st to 27th, but technically it can look like a financial glow up. Just be careful for that illusion, delusion. If you make money in any kind of foreign shore revenue situation, honestly, it can be anything. I use PayPal, I use Stripe. I could get a notice from PayPal or Stripe saying that they want to reassess my account because I'm a Canadian or something. I don't know, anything like that, or redo my tax filings with them. But it's just kind of deep. I'm going to go one more layer for Aries and we're going to move on. Neptune's been trying to enlighten you here, right? He's been traveling through here since 2011. He's about enlightenment. Saturn is solid enlightenment that lasts over the next 3 years. And this enlightenment sort of ashram energy back here with, deep spiritual moksha and liberation is working through the next 3 years of your life. And yet over here, we're like, okay, we're working hard. We're grinding Mars. I can't believe I went on vacation with Mars in my sixth house. I grinded all the way through my August vacation, guys. So yeah, never I'll do that again. I should have known better. But here we have, we're grinding, we're trying to be commercially successful, and all of a sudden we're still facing this enlightenment question. And Pluto says, well, you can get enlightened, but can you share it with the world? Or can you put the power face on with regards to themes to do with spiritual awakening and enlightenment? So I'm heading that way myself with Deep Code Astrology in 24. Let's get off the surface level of the weather girl and move into the deepest meaning of our lives. So we'll stay tuned. Okay, we're going to keep moving on. Right, Taurus sun, Taurus moon, and most accurate perhaps rising sign. So this is a powerful week. We're going to get that last Pluto Mars trine in your lifetime that you've got about 6 times ever since 2008 moving through the sky every couple of years. There is a call by Mars sitting in your fifth house to power up something actionable and make with passionate endeavors. The fifth house is what brings you to life, vitality, enthusiasm, inspiration, and joy. Why you get out of bed in the morning? What is the soul spark here of your life about? Well, of course, it's Virgo and it's Earth, right? Taurus, it's going to be very practical, very, very much so. But on the other hand, Mars is going through here, and he does this every 2 years. And this is his last time he talks to Pluto and says, we're driving for some powerful, passionate direction here in the creative, entrepreneurial, artistic house, the house of romance and sexuality, the fifth house of your children and pregnancy. Not the best place for pregnancy, just saying. And anyone listening who's a Taurus rising sun or moon who can have a child, who's the one who could have a child, try not to do that when Mars is moving through your fifth house, okay? I'm just like a very miscarriagey vibe there. But the gist of it is, I mean, when he's there, right? Don't worry, after he leaves, you're fine. But anyway, he's only there for 6 weeks every 2 years. You can avoid that. But with Mars moving in your fifth house here, and he's been there, don't forget, for quite a while, right? He's finishing a 6-week stay. You have been coming to terms with what really excites you, basically, what makes you, motivates you, Mars, motion, movement, motivation, directionality, and asking the deeper questions. But you're facing this opposition from Neptune this week as well. And Neptune is like, well, you had some pie in the sky wish fulfillment fantasies perhaps for your life. 11th house, the big house of the dreams and wishes we hold for our future. And you've been getting some sober-minded, realistic Saturnian cold water here ever since March of this year, all the way through to February of 2026. So now you're really more serious and realistic about what your fantasies are for your life dreams and wishes, and even more sober assessments of what kind of career gains you might be capable of achieving, and what kind of friends are real friends. And because friends and groups of belonging are here, look for this week to deliver perhaps some deception, lie, miscommunication, fabrication, embellishment, something untrue, hopefully not manipulative, being spoken to a friend or from a friend. And with Mercury in your fifth house, you are also maybe attempting to come up with new ideas for creativity and passion, entrepreneurship, or new ideas for what can inspire you. I mean, if you were single, you might have been dating someone that you had to communicate with at a distance even. But that Neptune opposition would mean a disillusionment in a dating situation could arise for single Tauruses who are newly into a dating story, as you see through something that was rose-colored glasses, especially if that dating situation came out of meeting through friends or groups, social groups of belonging. Finally, you got that Pluto, right? That energy in that wedge. You see the wedge, right? I should have taken all the other planets out to make it easy, but there's that wedge. Well, Pluto is the guy breaking some kind of difficult tension this week by saying, look to your ninth house where you have such authentic power. You've been navigating ninth house power since 2008. What are your true beliefs in God, in religion, in spiritual philosophy? You've killed yourself on this one. Like, you've let go of a lot. Some of you probably dropped religions or dropped spiritual paths completely. Pluto's transforming you, asking you to go below the surface of a religion or a path that was no longer useful. But you also have this transformation in the house of foreign lands. You also have this transformation in the place of your sky that can represent father figures. And this transformational power is also in the house of people who are guides and mentors and like pastors and mentors and guides to you. So it may be a powerful guide, mentor, spiritual guide could really step up and support you here in a very powerful way to open up a deeper spiritual look at your life. Get the bird's eye view for sure. The house of God is kind of leaning into that. It's also your dharma, your gifts, why you're here. What are you here for? Yes, it's academia. Yes, it's book publishing. Yes, it's foreign shores. But the deeper meaning is that more spiritual metacosmos energy of between the worlds and the experience of the divine and the divine intelligent design. So lean into a deeper power of the divine intelligent design in your life this week. And don't be afraid to reach out to a therapist, a guide, a mentor, or a teacher. Someone in that ninth house could really support you through some kind of disillusionment, maybe in romance, sexuality, love, creativity, larger friendship groups, etc. All right, let's keep moving. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. So if you are a Gemini, you are going to find that this is a story, the last such story of Mars moving through your fourth house. In a trine to Pluto, these kinds of events happen to begin around 2008, 2009. You had about 6 of them already, and this is the last one. Or this is a 6th one probably. Look, every time Mars goes through somebody's fourth house of home, property, land, real estate, childhood, homeland, and mother, you're always going to have issues here. You may have been going through some domestic strife over the last 6 weeks or so because of Mars. 5 weeks or so, Mars has been down here trundling along, causing some tension. And maybe you have fights with your kids, fights with your spouse, fights with anyone living near you in your home in particular, just conflict in the home, basically. And you also may be trying to change the home, travel from home, move from home, even renovate the home, like with construction and stuff with Mars down here. That's all been true for the last, 5 weeks. But now we've got this trine to Pluto, the last in your life. How can you use your home to get rich? How can you power up wealth through the property, land, and real estate you own? Even if it's just property you own and it's not money, it's not your own home, business land, other properties, investment land, investment properties, it's time to maybe cash out. Mercury represents selling and buying. So either you're going to buy a property that's going to be a very powerful, exciting development, and you can't believe how excited you are this week, make an offer, negotiate a deal, set things in motion, hire a real estate agent, or you're going to go the other way and you're going to sell a home. But all of that is to power you up in a grand finale of chunky money in the 8th house. We all want chunky money in the 8th house. So it's going to be a wealthy energy. It's going to be a prosperous energy. However, watch for some illusion and confusion, maybe deception coming from 10th house figures. And with Saturn there, that can be an authority figure. Watch out for someone who's in charge of things to not be honest with you. And so be careful. Now, it's institutional energy when you see Saturn often. So what institutional energy? It could be your workplace, your boss. It could be something to do with the bank itself, that's going to give you a mortgage. Just be careful that you're not being sold a bill of goods or told something that isn't true. And also you may be coming to a more realistic assessment of what your career ambitions and goals are in life. Neptune here has been giving you fantastical ideas and fantasies and daydreams, and now Saturn's realistic for the next 3 years about what you can achieve. And this is a turning point of wealth and career. And Pluto says you can get a lot of wealth, especially a sextile to Neptune, if you use YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, storytelling, photography, glam, acting, scripts, screenplay writing. Those are Neptunian things, by the way. Mesmerism, hypnosis, enlightenment. That can get you rich. And you might have to square away with how that is more true than what you thought you were going to aim for in the past. So keep that in mind, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. As a Gemini progressed sun, I'm taking this to heart. I do want to get back to my storytelling, writing, screenplay writing at some point here. And this may be one of those weeks where something makes me face that possibility more squarely. Lastly, legacy wealth, inheritance money, hearing that you've inherited money somehow, or your spouse or significant other has, or a former husband or partner or wife has money to give you. These are all possibilities. I say former because of the retrograde Mercury kicking into gear on the 23rd. So money that was due you from inheritances, spousal support, the past. This can bring that money to you. So chunky money that was overdue, or tax money, you paid too much and you get some back. You may have some kind of, or credit card money that, they want to give you money back or something, some really sweet deals with money. You know how the credit card companies give you that, take money for a year, pay no interest. I've got one of those offers. I'm a progressed son. I'm thinking maybe I'll just take them up on it. It's cheap, free, easy money. Right? And hold that money for a year and use it to invest in my business or something like that. Now that would be a very practical way that I would use this energy, but am I being deluded with that? Because I have a progressed sun in Gemini. Are you being deluded? Is the institution telling you the truth? Will they want to suddenly charge you more halfway through because they're having a bank run? I don't know. So be careful with those kinds of offers as well. All right, moving forward. Now I'm going to stop the share because I need some sugar. I'm going to go down and get some chocolate covered acai berries or something like it. I'm going to ask you to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I told you YouTube has unplugged a lot of my subscribers for some reason in the last 30 days. And it's scary. And my subs are by half now, not by the growth, not by the views, because they unplugged you and you subscribed. And that's not good. So please hit the subscription button if you have subscribed and they unsubbed you, or if you're new, like help me counteract the forces of darkness. I will no longer talk about things to do with medical situations in the world because I think I might be in trouble from YouTube at a subtle blacklist level. All right, I'm be right back. I'm going to get my sugar hit. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. No, I'm not going to chew in front of you. I got in trouble. My sister Nancy, I'm visiting her, made a zucchini loaf from her garden. You know, it's gluten-free. I'm gluten-free. And she left it for me because she knew I was going to sugar low halfway through this. And I'm staying with her right now. And if you want to have a healing with her, and you're just one of my listeners, her website is healingwithnancylynn.com. She's a remote distance healer. She's amazing. She does do miracles. Can't promise, though. Results may vary. And the code is fall15. Check my description box to book with Nancy. She's going to sell out. This kind of gift to my followers ends, and I get nothing from it, ends at the end of September. Let's go ahead and let's continue with the signs. Okay, so we're back and we're going to get started. And no, I did not eat in front of you guys, right? Which is wonderful because I know I got really slammed for munching a tangerine years ago. And I want to say something else about reality here. No, I'll save it for my next video on Mars. Oh my God. The trolls have been coming out in droves. So I'll save that for my Mars video. Here we go. Okay, now, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It's a story that happens on the regular. Oh, can you guys see that? Can you? Yes. Sorry, I just had a thought that maybe it wasn't showing. It is. Okay. So, can I make it even bigger? No. So basically, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, especially Rising. Hey, the week is dominated by the Mars transit through your last degrees of your third house in your lifetime trine to Pluto. You've been having that on and off every 2 years since 2008. And this is the last chance saloon for super powerful uplift in your seventh house, third house axes. Now, your seventh house axis is all about your relationships to other people. That can be powerful marriage partners, powerful business partners, powerful clients and audience people that you're attracting into your life. Now, I'll have to say Pluto through here since 2018 has decimated, destroyed, and ended marriages and business partnerships for some of you. And that's just par for the Plutonian course. On the other hand, he's asking you to power up and find authentically powerful resources in other people as relationships, not as, usurious. And this is your last chance to profit in a way from a powerful people or peoples as you move through this week ahead. And Mars says maybe somebody that you meet because you're journeying, you're on a trip, you're traveling. Mars loves to travel in that third house, especially road trip or caravan. And so trips and travel can bring you in touch this week with some very powerful people who can be wonderful allies for your greater prosperity. If you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising who has an online presence like a website, a blog, and you do social media online, that's very third house material. And you can see that Mercury is here as well. He's here forever. July 28th, October 5th. You are good at marketing, merchandising, selling, communicating, writing, revising your website and online presence. And then along comes Mars in the end of this story. He's been here for 5 weeks already. And he's like powering ahead with purpose and passion, new directions, lots of momentum, lots of motivation, getting that online stuff all fixed up. Mercury retrograde on the 23rd, add 3 weeks, maybe a time of sort of pulling back a bit or looking inward or revising a writing project, revising a written document, revising your website, changing your prices, especially. Mercury retrograde, if you have an online business, is go back and revise your pricing structures if you are Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Now, Mars is all about the motive and will that you have down here, and he's about to leave right at the end of this week on the 27th into Libra, and that's a whole different story for next week's video. and a whole video on that coming up this week as well. But the bottom line is that right now you are highly motivated around third house matters, and siblings can be an ally, especially with Jupiter in the house of the elder sibling, Mercury, Mars in the house of any sibling, especially younger. You've got a lot of sibling support, allies, allyship, and help from siblings, cousins, extended family this week as well. The thing I'm harking on here over and over is the wedge. I mean, Neptune is like, what confusion, what kind of foggy visions are you having around those ninth house matters that could be troublesome this week? And, Neptune up here has been giving you a big dose of fantastical wish fulfillment and daydreams about, God and book publishing and foreign lands and travel and legal matters and third marriages. The third marriage would be the third house in the system I use, and all this fantasy. And then along came Saturn this year in September and said, let's get real. Let's sober up here. Let's someone give me a splash of cold water here for this person, which is you. But Saturn's helping you because Saturn's trining to you. So he's gentle with you right now. And he's saying okay, wake up, wakey, wakey. What are you not seeing? Neptune in the ninth house can be a religious path, a spiritual philosophy, or a spiritual teacher who is not good for you. It's not the right one. So there's some kind of opposition from those types of figures, therapists as well, or educational settings of foreign lands, legal matters that are really obfuscated this week. And you don't have a clear beat on it. And watch out for thievery. Watch out for lies and deceptions by third house people, your neighbors, hopefully not your siblings, or even from third house environments, right? The local neighborhood, the local restaurants and pubs, or your online world. I'll tell you what I wouldn't do in this week ahead. I wouldn't start dating somebody new if they're from a foreign country. Okay, I just it doesn't look very good. Pluto, though, is powering up, right, to support positive outcomes in that seventh house. And he's trying to give Neptune some love, his brother. So where you can benefit is from powerful people who have Neptune affiliations, powerful teachers, powerful spiritual teachers, powerful foreigners who are involved in book publishing, powerful foreigners who are involved in visas. These things can be very auspicious for you. Just be careful. Mars likes to steal. Mercury could lie with that Neptune energy, lying and stealing. It's not a good idea. Identity theft or something like that could happen online. Be really careful with that old scam artists, from other countries where they have whole farms of scam calls. This could be very much looking like a third house matter. You need to be very careful you don't get ripped off and deceived by that kind of scam with that third house, ninth house axis alive, or too good to be true trips, all expenses paid trip to, and you get there and it's a hovel and nothing is like the offer. Don't do that either this week. Don't take up travel opportunities. You'll be disillusioned because everything will not be what it seems. Just give it this week. Let this week pass. Let's get Mars after the 27th out of your Virgo house, and then you're more safe to go. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So what we got going on here is really that you have had this Mars trine Pluto energy ever since 2008-9, every couple of years happening. This is your last time. Mars is in Virgo and Mars is looking over at Neptune in Capricorn. That's an Earth trine. Now, this week's dominated by this all the way through the week. I said in the intro, it's not just one day. It's kind of it's more intense around the 24th, 25th, but it's all week long. You want to take action and directionality and make decisions with passion and detail. Mars in your second house of earnings around the way you earn money, and Jupiter is saying, hey, I'm going to blow your money up anyway. Between now and next May, you guys are getting better and better job opportunities, wealthier and wealthier, more success, even some of it sudden. But right now, this week ahead, it's like, Mercury's getting ready to station retrograde and take a deep pause right on the 23rd. Mars for the entire week is going to be opening, and the 23rd in my time zone is on Wednesday. In the meantime, Mars is in that flow to Pluto, which can bring wealth and power in a work situation, a new job, getting hired in a new company. A powerful boss or authority figure looks favorably on you and wants to give you more money, a raise, all of that. But you have to watch out for the fine print here when it comes to eighth house money, because that's where Neptune is sitting in opposition. Now, that can be things to do with the terms of the work, like what you're able to actually receive from this work. Maybe it's not, everything is not what it seems. Maybe if you took the job and you found out that they said you were going to get these benefits, and then you find out you're not going to get the benefits, eighth house benefits, chunky money. Chunky money can look like, how much time off you're getting, or what kind of benefits you're getting from insurance policies in the workplace. Well, don't believe everything you see here, because you're not likely to get everything you see, because you're not seeing everything there is. Also, watch out for stocks this week. Of course, stock investments, eighth house. Neptune has been deluding you about your potential here for a while. It's 2011. Sober, hard, cold reality is striking with Saturn. I know a lot of people have been in the downtrodden markets that up and down lately, and they're complaining, but this is not a week to start a big stock investment plan. Stay clear. Just give it some time. Don't let your investment broker tell you about the next best sliced bread, because that's thievery, Mars, Neptune, misinformation. Mercury, wrong information, Neptune, illusion, delusion. And I do like that Mercury is in the second house here for such a long time, July 28th, October 2nd. You are thinking up new ideas for making money, or creating new negotiations, contracts, and deals, or selling things to make money, like possessions, so that you have more at hand, even selling property or cars or something. You can sell things with Mercury here. It's just wonderful. But just don't even sell something or buy something this week, because again, Neptune is giving you some fog. Not a good time to make that final sales contract or final purchase contract happen. Just give it a week. Wait till the 27th. Otherwise, you may regret it. I do think, though, there's a very good chance you're going to get some successful upgrade in work situations this week. And it may just look like more money flowing in, more cash flow. And, Mars, he's been trying to get you to get deeply motivated to make money. What's the motive that you have? And, Venus is asking you, what do you value? So you're looking where values and motive come together. I talked earlier in the video about that Venus square Jupiter. For you, it's definitely values, motive, and career tension coming up this week. So again, lean into what you truly care about, what makes your heart come alive, and then go forward with great power and success in that career money story this week, you Leo, sun, moon, and rising. Now, Virgo, sun, moon, rising, especially rising sign. My daughter is one of you. Virgo rising. My best friend's Virgo rising. My son's a Virgo sun. I get so many Virgos in my face. It's ridiculous. So here's the thing. It's all in the house of you. Lord Mercury is helping you. You're wisening up. Every time Mercury goes through your sign, and this is like 2 months, you haven't been this wizened up since like August, September of 2016. You're seeing clearly what you need to see, especially when it comes to significant love relationships. So I think my Virgo rising daughter ditched a no good for nothing boyfriend at that time. Okay. But I'm just saying, you definitely are looking at, go back to 2016, because Mercury spending 2 months in your sign is a powerful. He's your lord of your sign. He's in his exaltation. Your mind is sharp. You're seeing clearly. You have great ideas. You're investigating and researching what matters to you. You're thinking well. You are able to this time make decisions, right? Because Mars Neptune is decision-making power with mental acuity this week, and you're making decisions and choices and actions coming from a strength. Now, because Mercury is going to retrograde on the 23rd, some of these decisions are ones you've been weighing for a while. You've been thinking about this for a while, maybe since the end of July, and now you're getting ready to act on those decisions. Mercury does rule your career house. Some of you may make some changes in your career, or you may revise your career, but go to my Mercury All Signs video for more on that, on the retrograde video. More importantly, Pluto is powering up your 5th house. That is your romance and sexuality, pregnancy and children. That is your inspiration, enthusiasm, creativity, and entrepreneurship. That's your fun. What's it been like, Virgos, to have Pluto in this house ever since 2008? A few of you had very catastrophically intense romances where you've gone through deep transformation here. Some of you have had miscarriages. Hopefully none of you have lost children, but it's an intense, once in a lifetime, never to be seen again, coming to an end transit. Especially for you late degree Virgo rising, this is an intense week ahead because it's activating that Pluto in the last degrees of the 5th house. So major decisions are coming through around sexuality and love and romance, creativity, entrepreneurship, fun, or with and about your children. You're in the driver's seat. You got Mercury at the helm of your story. He's in his joy here. You're in charge. You are not a victim in this story. Hold up. You are doing well. Even the sun is here, vitalizing you, reinforcing you, shining brightly in the house of you. Until the 27th, Mercury is with Mars, and then Mars leaves. So Mars is like taking orders from Mercury and saying, I'll do it. What do I have to do? I'll take the action. I'll end, cut, sever the home, the career, the partner that I'm not supposed to be with. I'll tell my kid to leave the home for frig. It's time to cut the ties, things like that. Denest your kid forcefully. Decisions around pregnancy, right? Now, hopefully you as a Virgo rising aren't facing an unwanted pregnancy, but Mars does rule ending pregnancies and Mercury's decisions, and Pluto's in the house of pregnancy. So big decisions around pregnancy could be happening for some of you, Virgo, sun, moon, most accurately rising sign people in the week ahead, maybe moon and rising most likely facing that kind of conundrum. It doesn't mean you'll end a pregnancy. You're making decisions about pregnancy, whether you want to or not. I'm not saying which way this goes. Next, also, there is this energy of having to face, what is it about this Neptune? I mean, really, tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. Neptune here for a lot of Virgo rising, especially, oh my God, disillusionment in the significant other stories. Sometimes business partners too. One of my best friends, real estate agent, I think she's had some disappointments in her business partnership. She's allied with other people in her business and it hasn't worked out the way she wanted. Some of you are dealing with alcoholics or mentally ill, significant marriage type partnerships or business partnerships over the years since 2011. How has it been? Let me know, because now it's ending, right? Saturn's been here, like sober-minded, realistic, hard bracing, cold water wake up call. Saturn got here in March and he's not leaving this part of your sky, guys, until 2026. So you will suffer no mentally ill, addicted, manipulative, lying and deceiving people at all. You're going to get clear. If you're single, you can bring yourself someone 7 years younger or older into your life over the next 3 years, that's for sure, who's reliable and steadfast. But this is a transit that makes those relationships you're already in business and love, difficult. And so Saturn is like kicking the foundation, looking for the cracks in the foundation, checking that the engine block of your relationship is not cracked. And if he finds any flaws there, good luck. This is going to be a time in which you're testing whether this is a relationship for you. Now, some of you will up level, make it more solid, more real, right, over the next 3 years. But this week has some of that feeling of this is an important week regarding those larger relationship themes. I don't want to say that your partner will lie to you here, but Neptune, Mars, Mercury is deceit, thievery, a suspicion, manipulation even. So be cautious if you have a discussion this week with your significant business or marriage type partner, or watch for deceptive clients and audience types too. But if you have a conversation, like if it's a client, that's one thing. It's no big deal. My real estate girlfriend could have a client who says they have enough money to buy a mansion, and then when they get to the offer, the person's lied or something. But if it's your partner, no one wants to think that their partner would be untruthful or dishonest. But holy man, that can happen, especially with Venus in the house of secret bed pleasures. So it could be difficult conversations full of strife this week with a significant partner, but also maybe you're being disillusioned by them somehow. You just don't see those rose-colored glass views of them anymore. And the question I'd have is what's going on and why? Because you'll make actionable decisions in the next week by the 27th about what to do in that business or love partnership. It's a big week. You haven't had this kind of power since 2016 fall. Alrighty, so this is a big deal. All right, we're moving on. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. Nothing like Mercury and Mars trining Pluto from the 12th to the 4th house, as you can see. I mean, because 4th house is legacy, wealth, home, property, real estate, and 12th house is backroom deals and negotiations or revenue from foreign countries and foreign lands. And we have Jupiter in the inheritance house. Any which way I cut this, are you coming into money, a trust fund, an inheritance? Are there negotiations behind the scenes to allow for some familial money from your family of origin to come to you? Are you able to make money through property sales and real estate purchases and things like that? This week opens up those kinds of questions and answers, hopefully. Now, Mars and Mercury in the 12th, that can be part of your own inner world, like where you have a tendency to unravel your own life in some way, undo yourself, sabotage your life. Mars here has been trying to cut away the sabotaging patterns, right? He's been there for 5 weeks, leaves on the 27th of August, sear, cut, and sever those like conditions that undo you, including addictions, with a really sharp sword, with a lot of detail, a lot of practical qualities of this Virgo placement. Looking for purity with a sharp sword, looking to cleanse out, looking to define, refine your spiritual life, your mental health as well. And Mercury is giving you ideas because you can get the best dreams you've ever had. Mercury retrogrades on the 23rd, add 3 weeks. Holy man, 23rd of August, you're going to begin to get insights and dreams through your meditations, through shamanic journeys, through your dreams at night. The messenger of the gods, close to earth, elemental earth here. You haven't had this much 12th house power since 2016, August, September. And here you have it again. Mars is the kind of guy who doesn't like to quibble. He has sharp scissors always in his hand. And you may want to snip, cut, sever, and end a work situation this week because Neptune, you've been deluding yourself. You don't want to do this work. You don't like this job. You don't like the coworkers. You don't like the boss. What is it going on here that you've been like trying ever since 2011 to make everything a bowl of cherries and looking at that work and grinding life situation, job, service, with even your pets, even a rental situation with a glossy glow, and now you're like, whoa, Saturn got in there in March and he's like, look at it straight on. Like, let's be realistic here. And some of you want to quit your job this week and you may put in notice. You may just say, I'm done, like finito, finale, see you later. I'm going to travel for a while. That's because the moon is in Sag at the time of this particular August 25th chart. But middle of the week, moon is in Sag. Some of you may go, I'm out of here. I'm going on a trip and I'm cutting loose. I'm quitting my job or whatever. Or I'm quitting my career path, maybe more than job. You don't like the work you're in anymore. If you don't actually do that this week, which is fine, you're definitely looking at it squarely because you're becoming disillusioned with the work situation. Okay. Some of it can be health. You may be coming to a clear, sober-minded, realistic look at the way that your self-undoing addictions may be not the best thing for you, and having the gumption to make the decisions and have the knowledge and peace of mind and clarity to go back to a cleaner lifestyle, Mercury retrograde, and adopt that for good. No more vape. No more ice cream free before bed every night. No more overdoing the wine or the beer, whatever you do, okay? This is a good clean it up week. Now, Pluto in the 4th house is breaking the tension, and go back to your childhood. What things did they tell you psychologically? What did your mom and dad, or especially your mom, but what did your childhood origin, family of origin, life lessons look like? What are those ancestral narratives that run through your story? Can you unplug from them? Pluto says power up, dig beneath the surface, go under, see what's there. I mean, come on. With Uranus in your 8th and Pluto finishing up your 4th, some of that looks like shocking secrets over the last, 5 years about your family of origin. They could still be coming through. Dig, find the dirt and underneath the soil of the family house, the 4th house, and see what you find there. This week could be revelatory at dispelling some illusions that led you in a direction for health, addictions, or even job and work that you don't really like. Uncover the mysterious codes of your childhood. You know how it is, like, hey, if you get somehow where in life you have to work hard, money doesn't grow on trees, wealth only comes through grinding, whatever stories you were told. Undo them this week. Well, the sky will help you undo them. All right. Well, my Scorpio folk, sun, moon, and rising sign. First off, this is the last Mars trine Pluto. It dominates the week that you'll have in your lifetime. You've been having it on and off since 2009 or so. This is the 6th and last final one. I believe it's the 6th. But the gist is it's an older story that's been thrumming through the sky for a while to thrum no longer. And in your sky, this is definitely a story that has a lot to do with 3rd house and 11th house matters that can bring prosperity, wealth, expansion, and growth and goodness. But what else is going on? So let's go into the step 1. Mercury in your 11th house of elder sibling, the house of friends who are allies and benefactors, the great gains you wish to create from your career. Venus is retrograding this week still, so you're rethinking your career strategy, rethinking the way you are Are you in heart-centered values? And do you really feel the desire to do the career you're doing? You're questioning that till September the 4th. Started asking the question July 22nd. So keep that in mind. And now Mercury is also going to retrograde, and he's going to pull back your gains. Like if you used to making a lot of money, you might change direction. He's pulling back. He's going inward. He's going backwards on the 23rd of this week. For 3 weeks. So there's a lull. Some of you may take a vacation, take some time off. It could just be practical reason there's a lull. Friends from the past, of course, can come back during the next 3 weeks. And this week could be the beginning of hearing from an old friend or going back to join a social network or group that you belonged to before, a club or something. But with that Mars, Mercury, it's kind of opposite Neptune: thievery, deception, misinformation, Kool-Aid drinking from fifth house matters. This is the house of your children. This is a house of your romantic lover, sexual partner. This is the fifth house of your entrepreneurial and creative endeavors. Now, Neptune's been here since 2011, and it's been fueling your fantastical imagination and creative projects like music, writing, painting, whatever you do, or your entrepreneurial life. And now Saturn is here to bring it form and duration and enduring, lasting quality, and also realistic stuff, being realistic about your creative projects, entrepreneurial life, children, sexuality. Saturn here is very much the cold water as well, like a bracing look at what's really going on here. And he'll be there until 2026. Just got here this March. Now, this week is like, what the hell is going on that you feel like you may be confronted with some sexual or romantic or creative moment, especially around Wednesday, Thursday, that has to do with news, information that's bracing and conflictual and sharp from a friend, the house of friends. And this can be disturbing your peace. Is it true, or is it a lie? Is it manipulative? Is it deceptive? Or is it information that's precise and accurate that you need to have in order to make some assessment of your illusion around romance or creativity? Now, here's the other part of the story. 11 and 5 is a money house. And if you've been thinking, I'm going to get rich quick on some scheme to do with winning, gaming, lotteries, this could be like, you're realizing that's not true. You have more of a realistic, a sober assessment, but you do have power, you do have wealth, and you do have transformation through the third house of writing, the third house of communicating, the third house of your siblings, the third house of your neighborhood, shops and restaurants and neighbors. And so a powerful neighbor or sibling or local environment event or thing this week could look like a breath of relief for you, where you can see this depth of power that you're capable of actually when it comes to connecting to that third house. Yes, it could be a powerful trip or getaway, dreamy, romantic, even with that Neptune sextile that fires up some new ideas on how to make greater gains from your career, as I think some of you are getting ready to leave a certain profession or career space behind. Chiron has been making you feel wounded in your workspace for a long time, since 2019. That's going to end, in a few years, 2026. But if there's been a kind of persistent wound that keeps draining and the Band-Aids aren't working about, this is not really the kind of work I want to do, you're looking at that also potential this week of making some clear decisions about, yes, you want to make great gains from your career, but at not the expense of being out of alignment with your deepest desires, Venus retrograding in the 10th. So those things are big this week for you as well. Sagittarius, sun, moon, especially rising sign. Number 1, this is a time in your life where I'm going to sidebar. Jupiter in your 6th house will help you improve your health and your work situation all the way through until the end of May next year. And I wanted to start with that for you because this is such a god-awful good thing happening here. But this is a week as well with Mercury and Mars in your 10th house, opposite Neptune in your 4th, trining Pluto in your 2nd. There's a wedge, right? The wedge is there. Pluto has been trying to wealth you up ever since 2008, make you more rich, basically get the money flowing through your 2nd house. But he's also able to create a deep transformation through your connection to power and wealth. And for some of you, it may have meant making a lot of money. Some of you may have lost a lot of money. Some of you have done both of that in these last years since 2008. I can speak to that from a couple of Sages I know. Pluto here is saying speak powerfully, find true, powerful, authentic vocation, voice, and calling. And that's been the thing he's been caring about. He's out of here in 25, never to return. And this is about the sixth time that Mars has trined him since 2008 from the 10th house of career. You're back in the ongoing conundrum, especially you, Sag, Sun, and Moon in the last 10 degrees, 20 to 29 degrees of Sag. You're back in the conundrum, but all Sagittarius feel it of, is this money, power, story, earnings, wealth in alignment here with your deeper Dharma, Venus retrograding your ninth, the thing that aligns your gifts and talents in the most positive way with the unique signature that is you in the world. And Mercury Mars is kind of like, all right, well, we got some problems. Houston, we got some problems. Something's wrong at home. So, Mercury, news, information, ideas, and Mars, action and choices, decisions, and movement in the 10th house of career are facing some kind of fog in the form of your domestic private life environment. And Saturn has been putting some cold water realism there since March through to 2026. All the fantasies you've had about your dreamy home, your dream life, your dream home are being squared away with realism in the next 2 to 3 years. But in this 1 week ahead, why are you facing this confusion, misunderstanding around the home life? But it's also asking you to power up your money wealth in the career space. I'll give you an example. Maybe I know somebody who's a Sag Sun who may be facing the realistic understanding that the retirement plan isn't going to work out and is sort of like just going to nest in this new home and do nothing else but be retired. May it be pulled in this week to find new sources of income through work. And Mercury retrograde often looks like someone from your career path that you've been involved with in the past, because Mercury starts retrograding on the 23rd, add 3 weeks here, 23rd of August, comes back from the past. And this can look like Mars, decisions you need to make and action, whether you want to come back to work or go into that work environment again. Even if you're not retired, even though you're already working, now you might take another job offer because you can get a lot more money here. Now, Neptune in the home, plumbing, water, leaks, water ingress, problems ever since 2011. Oh my God, my ex-husband's a Sag rising. We had the worst flood of water one time and all kinds of problems in one of the basement of a home we own. So, you got this ongoing water problem at home. Don't worry, Neptune will leave soon, 2020. My brain come back online, 25 or 6. But the gist of it is that you just could look at this as a week in which don't trust the plumber. The plumber tells you need to gut the whole, room and restore the entire piping under the floor. Maybe not. Deception, misinformation, illusion can be very thievery. Mars opposite Neptune. And look at the details yourself. Get a second opinion. Do not trust plumbers. Sagittarius, do not trust plumbers this week. Don't spend a lot of money on a plumber, okay? Rethink it. Maybe wait or get a second opinion. All right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It's a story of a man named Brady, who was bringing up 3 very lovely boys. Oh, well, that was girls. Anyway, yeah, I'm born in 1962. Do you know I had somebody tell me, they trolled me that I was lying about my age? I mean, and no, I've not had plastic surgery either, but I mean, spending god awful amounts of time trolling me that I'm lying about my age. What's wrong with people? So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. In the story of you've been dealing with that Pluto transit since 2008. There's not a Capricorn rising alive who hasn't been through a massive turmoil of redefinition and recalibration and reimagining who they are. Who are you? What are you in this lifetime? And why are you? I mean, these are existential questions with this transit. And this is coming to an end in 2005. You'll see no more of it. So you're coming to the tail end of a deep transformation. If you're Cap, Sun, Moon, or Rising, anywhere 20 to 29, it's happening more intensely, more recently in the last 4 or 5 years. And This is important because this week is bringing up the very last time you're going to feel this Mars trine Pluto from the ninth house of God. And then in 2016, what were you doing in 2016, August, September? Because that's the last time Mercury spent 2 months up here. These are kind of rare events. And this is a week that you see the rarity of it as you power up something to do with travel to foreign countries, changes of spiritual philosophy, connection to foreigners that can help you redefine yourself, alignment with your deepest dharmic path, rethinking the meaning of your life. Mercury retrograde here as of the 23rd, but hearing from a foreigner who may be somebody who's an ally who can bring wealth to your life that you haven't heard from a while. Solar figure, usually a powerful figure, like a sun is up there, right? A wealthy, powerful, successful solar figure. Maybe reaching out to you sometime this week or in a little bit longer, the next 2 weeks, but it could start up this week. Now, if you have any desire to go back to school and learn and re-educate yourself, there's a lot going on here where this is going to be your big question mark. Mercury retrograde says go back to a school you've been to, go to a college or campus you've been, reapply for that study you wanted to do but never followed through on. And then Mars is giving you the momentum, right? The drive, the decision-making power to do all of that. It's certainly good for winning in the last 5 weeks, maybe winning in a court situation with Mars going through here, coming to a close. Mercury could be the settlement, the last details being squared away this week. The retrograde would be maybe the pause while we wait for the final judgment from a judge over the next 3 weeks. Certainly you might be looking for money though, because Venus is in your 8th house retrograding that's owed you from the past. And a lot of Caps are wondering if they're ever going to see that money or not. Just, that's what it's there. Now, there's sibling problems maybe because Neptune in the house of siblings, illusion, delusion, deception. You may have been deceived by siblings of the last 2011. Saturn is making a cold, hard, realistic statement. Cousins and siblings down here have an unreliable quality this week. But with Mercury opposite Neptune in the house of siblings, you may hear from a sibling, but don't believe what they tell you. All right. Or it's like, is it true? Question, is it true? This is the total transit not to go off to an ashram and then give all your money to a guru. This is definitely a Jim Jones Kool-Aid false messiah vibe with that 9th house, 3rd house axis. But if it's just a sibling story, then basically question your sibling, ask more details, ask for proof. Don't just take at face value what's going on. Sibling could ask for money because Venus exalts the house of siblings and she's retrograding. Or a sibling may owe you money and it may be coming back, but there may be some terms that aren't true about why you're not getting all of it back or some bullshit like that. There's weird stuff going on here. You may be disillusioned with your neighbors, your neighborhood this week. You may feel some tension around where you're living, not sure if you want to stay there. You're definitely looking at like fly the friendly skies by the 27th of August. Some of you may make travel plans. Mercury's planning. He doesn't have to do the trip. He protects you in travel. He's retrograding 23rd of August, add 3 weeks. So plans to travel may occur this week, including ticket bookings. Okay. By the end of this week and by Sunday, to a place you've been before authentically, you know the lay of the land, it's nothing new. It's like, and it may be foreign to your natal country, like where you were born. If you need visas, passports, and documents to work out for you in any kind of foreign setting, Mercury retrograde may slow it down, unfortunately, for 3 weeks. So wait till he goes direct to get some forward momentum on the 15th of September. Yeah. But you may be making some kind of combative moves here to get that damn paperwork pushed through. But I'm not sure with that retrograde, you're going to get what you want. So maybe just rest easy a bit and don't trust the paperwork either, especially with shipping and shipping containers and things like visas, because Neptune opposition from the 3rd house of trips and travel. Like I don't know what's wrong here. The fine print is blurry. Something's not what you see is what you get. Maybe you've been told you need an X kind of visa, you need a Y. Double check those details, please, Capricorns, this week. Okay, just look into it more clearly, really get a laser extra pair of eyes on it. Pluto will wealth you up as well, of course, if you can, but this doesn't look like you're going to have a bunch of money drop on you other than any money owed you, especially involving siblings, cousins, or childhood friends, could return to you by the end of this week. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause. for a drink. If you're new to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe. YouTube is dumping my subscribers who subscribe and they're telling me that they lost their subscription. So if that's you, can you resubscribe? Nasty, nasty, nasty YouTube. I'll be right back with some water and we'll get the last two signs done. Whew, it's hot here. Whew. It's been a weird August. I took all this vacay time off and I didn't have any vacation. I'm going to learn better how to do it next year. Got a COVID test. It was okay. I pulled through with one day of not feeling well. But all kinds of weird things have happened in August. So I've learned my lesson. Never take a vacation as an Aries sun, moon, or rising when Mars is grinding through your sixth house. We started with you. Let's move on to me now. It's all about me. I'm an Aquarius rising. So let's talk about you and me. This is my favorite part when I get to do Aquarius because I get to talk about myself as a planet, 3 planets in Aries girl. Guys, let's get rolling. I'm getting delirious here. All right, Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. What we have on the sky for us is the last time Pluto in our 12th house is going to trine Mars in our 8th house. Now, 8 and 12 are moksha and liberation houses, so is 4. So, right, 8, 12, 4, spiritual awakening. Okay, and they're normally water signs. It's deep, intuitive dives, places of mystery, occult magic, but also awakening spiritually. Certainly, Pluto began an awakening process for me as an Aquarius rising in 2011. I had my big awakening called the Awakened Dreamer blog. Check me out there. And I've had other awakenings since then, spiritual awakenings. And so this is Pluto's grand finale for Aquarius, as he's no longer going to be here. 2008 to 2025, he ends his long stay in that part of our sky that can bring us spiritual attainment. But he's also there to transform, change, revolutionize, transform, change, deepen, uncover occult magic, mysteries, 8th house matters, our past lives, the Akashic records, our inner world, shed clarity by unearthing the way that we sabotage our own lives and undo ourselves. These are good stories of Pluto moving through that 12. Can even bring us very powerful spiritual guides, teachers, and gurus. And so this is a last gasp. But Mars, however, in the 8th house, along with Mercury in lordship over Mars, there's something going on to do either with a deep revelation and insight, like a genius, mind like a steel trap, X-ray vision, aha or idea that can come through about the nature of reality, about occult magic and mystery. I've been dreaming about the nature of time. So there's a lot going on there. Who knows? Maybe I'll figure it out and I'll pull a big woohoo. I just dreamt about this, the theory of everything, or I figured out quantum gravity. But, this kind of stuff is very possible for Aquarius this week. On a practical note, I mean, come on, Sun, Mercury, Mars, they're all in the chunky money house. Mercury rules the house of games of chance. He is retrograding. Find that lottery ticket under your bed that you never checked and boo-hoo, you won. Or maybe you're here to revise your tax strategies. Maybe you're here to relook at Mercury retrograde on the 23rd. Money that should be yours is locked in your past, and you can get news and information. Solicitors calling you, banks, loans, mortgages, ex-husbands or current people that you're involved with business and love coming to you to say, here's some money. Now, Mercury's deals and negotiations and business and commerce and stocks can be also 8th house matter. So stock money from the past coming back, inheritance money from the past coming back as he begins a retrograde on the 23rd. It's not a good time to invest because Mercury retrograde, unless it's a stock you've bought before and had it owned before and you really know it well, Mercury retrograde here, 23rd, add 3 weeks, is like, he's close to Earth. He's still very synchronistic and trickstery. Good for dead people coming through with information, news, and guidance. Go see a medium or let the feathers land at your feet. I mean, you'll hear from the dead. If in the degree to which they can reach you and you're open, dead people will talk to you in the next 3 weeks. But more importantly, this Mercury trine Pluto can wealth you up. If the money that you're going to get this week comes from revenue you generate through foreign people, foreign lands, and international shores. For modern people who are business entrepreneurs, that would just be your Stripe and PayPal account as long as your revenue is generated beyond your own country's borders. It could be a nice financial glow up, but Mars is saying decisions, actions, momentum, and movement. He's good there until the 27th of August, the end of this week, and there's a lot of momentum financially for you. They could look like a really sweet time in your money story this week. You might have to fight for some money, but you're fighting through the details, the fine print. You're pointing at it. Now you have to watch for deception here. I just got an offer just today for somebody who wants me to be an affiliate for something they're doing. And I'm going to be wary, because for me to promote them, I have to know they're good. And I don't promote anybody, jewelry or, the Aura app and stuff, unless I love it. I know it's proper and good and I use it myself, or I can trust that, the person, like my sister, Nancy, the healer. And so I'm being solicited. I just got the note today and on Sunday when I'm recording. And I don't know, I'll look long and hard at that. Neptune in the house of earnings, opposite Mercury, thievery, by the way, Mars, thievery, deception, misinformation, and Mercury news, information about shared resources and business partnership opportunities coming from the second house of cash flow earnings. And of course, Neptune is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels. So for me, I'm looking sort of cautiously at this particular affiliate offer that just came through. And so you should be very careful with earnings opportunities that are promoting something or showing up this week. Because you may have the unfull picture, foggy, unsure, delusional, lies and manipulation, deceit, or untruth could be occurring. So just be very cautious. And same with buying stocks. This will look like the pie in the sky stock purchase and you think it's going to be great. And when you look at the fine print, if you do, you realize it's not great at all. That you can't unlock your money from this investment, for 8 years. And then you realize, well, that's not a time frame you need. Look at the fine print. But you want to get some wealth out of this, and you can. You just have to be careful. Saturn is very realistic, and he's very sober-minded. He's helping you have a sharper, more clear, more reasonable, more moderate way of spending, saving, and making money over the next 3 years. And Neptune, he says, I'll work with you for the highest, most dreamy possibility, but we're also looking at it realistically, Aquariuses? And we're making money in a very stable and enduring way. We're not going for overnight success stories. And I think this Mercury-Mars moment this week can also be secrets, If there's some secret, especially with Uranus in the fourth house, from your childhood, family of origin stories, or from a former lover or husband, Mercury retrograde in the seventh, you may find something really unexpected this week. You may have news that is a bit shocking, that it's information you didn't have. It's a surprise. It's a secret. It was something hidden from your view. And it may involve money and it may be disturbing. So just breathe through it. All said and done, long game for you over the next 3 years is positive. Lord Saturn is the Lord of your sky, and he's going to really help you grow your money over the next 3 years. So if you get some unsettling news around finances, I can make anything up. You just got divorced and found out that your husband hid $1 million from you in the settlement. And yeah, you may want to go to court over that. Mars is going into legal court matters for 6 weeks right after August 27th. But, breathe through it, because it's not the end of the world. You do have a lot of Saturn support to grow steadily, and Jupiter in the fourth house, same prosperity angle. Jupiter in your fifth house, even supporting you more financially next year. Your money is not a problem over the next 5 years, okay? For most Aquarius risings, this is bell curve astrology. All right, moving forward to the best and always best, the Pisces sun moon, especially rising sign. So what we have here is we have Mars moving through your natal. Oh my God, am I recording? Yes, I am. Mars is moving through your natal seventh house, and he's opposite Neptune, and he's trining Pluto, creating a wedge. Now, Mars has been here for 5 weeks, and you may have had some disagreements, tension with your marriage partner or significant other type partner or business partners, or your audience and clients, but also they just may have been very tense. Like Mars there means that your partner was agitated. So my soulmate James has a Pisces, and I was agitated, right? Because I was grinding on my vacation and I wasn't full of cheer and goodwill and relaxation. And so, he was with me for some of that. And so bottom line, he might have found me to be irritable, Mars, or grumpy or sharp. Okay. So you just been going through your partner being hardworking, grumpy, irritable, and sharp for 5 weeks. In the worst case scenario, you're in the wrong relationship, and Mars over the last 5 weeks has been trying to cut that relationship off. But now this is coming to an end on the 27th. Anyway, Mars is out of there. But Mercury will retrograde in the house of significant relationships, business, love, and clients. And some of this is simple. You'll hear from emails, phone calls, former significant others. It doesn't have to be legal marriage, somebody you spent time with. Emails, phone calls, text messages, correspondence with somebody that you were with before. or a former business partner or ally in business, especially if it's a friend or an elder sibling, will call, phone, or email you. Now, it's a 3-week story, but it could start up as early as the 23rd of this week. Because Mars, who makes decisions and takes action, is in the house of other people, not you, a mistake of often modern astrology is to assign 7th house meanings to you, but rather it's others. Other people who are aggressive, sharp, and combative, decisive, and action-oriented are featuring highly this week as they bring news and information and phone calls and emails to you. But watch out for the opposition to Neptune. What part of this story isn't what it seems? You have the rose-colored glasses on. You are seeing reality through this sort of soft glow filter like Captain Kirk in Star Trek. You know, when I used to do that to him all the time, he'd be looking at Yeoman Rand and they put on this glow, the old Star Trek, and then they look back at him and they have a soft filter camera lens. You looking at everybody through this soft filter camera lens since 2011. Good news is, so you're very forgiving of others. Good news is that, and unconditionally loving of others. But good news is Saturn got here in March and will be here till 2026 February. And it's got your realism glasses on over the rose-colored glasses. And you're able to see more clearly and realistically the others in your life, marriage, business, etc., your children more clearly, your bosses and coworkers more clearly. This is great. You're not confused, deluded anymore if you ever were. Now, this is interesting because to me, this week says something like you could have an opportunity to travel, or an opportunity from a sibling, or an opportunity for a business situation to arise. And this is all you have to do to make decisions is not trust the other person. Like, really, seriously? Like, just don't believe everything you hear or what you're told, because it is that Mars, Neptune, that Mars action, combat, power, force, passion, information, news, phone calls, emails, excitement. And it's someone from your past, because Mercury will start retrograding early in the week on the 23rd. And they're telling you all of this great stuff, perhaps. And you're like, oh, my business partner, my former business partner, my former marriage type partner, my former client. And all of a sudden you have to really square away with, do I have my realism glasses on? Or am I looking at this through my confusing, fogged up, misty Neptune glasses? Especially if you're a Pisces sun, moon, and rising 25 to 30 degrees, you do have those glasses right on right now, okay, until 2025 or so. So wishing on a star is great when you have Neptune in the first house, but wish fulfillment because you choose to believe someone who's deceiving you, it's on you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me is your mantra for the week. This person has fooled you before, or you felt that there was misinformation coming from this person before, or it feels familiar, just like someone before. It's nothing brand new. You felt this feeling. So be very acute with realism and don't believe everything someone's telling you this week. That's basically what I can say. And you can power up some finances here. Pluto in the 11th house, a great job offer, a great work offer, a great travel work offer, money from an elder sibling, great opportunities from someone who treats you like an elder sister, like acts like a big sister brother to you. Those are the positive parts of the story. And some of it's connected. So again, parse the details of that ally benefactor thing with someone wealthy or powerful that could show up, and make sure that you are getting the full authentic truth. They may not mean to be telling you an untruth. They may leave details out by omission that it's up to you to scour for all the fine print and all the information you need before you make a decision, Mars, Mercury, and respond, communicate back. But I don't think there's any Pisces here. They're not getting some kind of client offer, significant other, business partnership thing going, but it's familiar. It's either from someone in the past or it's just remind you of something from your past. And I do love that Jupiter's in your 3rd house, especially if you are wanting to travel. This is so good for you until May next year as well. But that's a whole other story anyway. We're doing the Jupiter retrograde video coming up soon for September 4th. So stay tuned for that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you, everyone. This is your week ahead. Don't forget, I am I'm trying to lure you to Patreon. Come check it out. What the hell? $5, you get $80 for freebies. This is just a promotion until the end of September. It starts now, August the 20th. So come on, join my Patreon community for fun. Quit after a $5 investment and leave with all the goodies over your shoulder. But I think you're going to like it there, and maybe you'll want to stay. Hey, who doesn't want to get ad-free content, early access before the general public? For $5 a month. I mean, it's so cheap. Plus Zoom meetings with me every week, every three a month, depending on your tier. You get 1, 2, or 3 a month. Okay. Ciao, everyone. Happy week ahead.